Right now at noon, the Southeast Kansas Humane Society holds a microchipping event to raise awareness about keeping an eye on your pets.
And temperatures continue to heat up over the next couple of days.
Plus, the 4th of July weekend means a boom in business for fireworks stands and sellers. We're going to see how some sellers are preparing for the booming business.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, first responders rush a person to the hospital after an explosion takes place in McDonald County. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. The incident took place around 10:30 Saturday morning. McDonald County deputies responded to a residence where a possible suicidal subject was claimed to be. Deputies spoke with the individual in an attempt to have them exit the house when what has been described as a large explosion took place. First responders were able to gain access and remove the victim from the building. The victim was transported via helicopter to a hospital, and a McDonald County deputy was also treated at a hospital, and he has since been discharged. Newton County first responders were alerted to a report of a train striking a car. The incident occurred around 9:20 p.m. Saturday night near Tipton Ford Access off of Old Highway 71. Missouri State troopers say the car was struck on the tracks after the driver mistook it for a road. The occupants of the vehicle did exit the car before the train slammed into the vehicle, and no injuries have been reported. Now let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a look at the forecast.
Well, yesterday was a bit cooler, and that was due to the storms we saw on Saturday, but we are already warming up pretty quickly. 88 degrees out in Joplin, and it's going to be a pretty sunny day. We had the potential for a few storms this morning, but they shifted a little further north, so we stayed mostly dry across the area. Temperatures are going to continue to warm up today, mostly for our southwestern counties. The north and eastern counties are going to stay relatively cool for what we've been seeing temperature-wise. 88 in Joplin, 91 in Welsh, 89 in Sedan as well, but we're warming up to mid to lower 90s today. We do have a few heat advisories, and most of our heat advisories are going to continue into tomorrow as well until 8 p.m. And then we also have an excessive heat watch for Nowata County and Washington County out in Oklahoma until tonight due to heat indices getting up into about 115 degrees. But we'll talk more about that in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon, Lindsay. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, Fort Scott residents Broadway Avenue between 5th and 6th is closed until further notice. The city citing this closure is because of a developing sinkhole. City crews are currently securing the area and all traffic is being diverted. Motorists are advised to seek alternate routes, and residents living within the block will still have access to their homes. You are advised to make your entry via 6th Street. Well, the Fort Scott city manager released a statement saying, quote, "We will continue to update citizens on our findings. Thank you and sorry for the inconvenience in advance," end quote. Well, June is National Microchip Month, and the SEK Humane Society is working to raise awareness on the importance of being able to identify your furry friends. The shelter hosted a low-cost pet microchip clinic to help get as many animals chipped as possible. The event was open to both cats and dogs. Organizers say microchips are important for animals, as 1 out of every 3 pets will go missing during its lifetime.
It's a great way to keep track of your animal, so in case they ever get out, it's a way so you can get them back. So instead of just looking around, if somebody ever picks them up, they can scan it and they'll be able to get back to you at a faster manner.
Animal advocates say it's especially important to have a way for your pet to be identified ahead of the 4th of July. Most pets run away during the holiday than any other time of year. Well, players of all ages stepped up to bat in a competitive game of beep baseball in Carthage. Beep baseball, also known as beep ball, is an adaptive version of baseball for those who are blind or visually impaired. The game gets its name from the fact that the ball beeps for players to know where it is. The game was the first one played at the newly opened adaptive sports field developed by the MLV Foundation. The founder says it's rewarding to offer the opportunity to play for everyone.
There are some, I think, for other disabilities, but not specifically for the blind and visually impaired. So I'm very excited to be able to have this here in the Midwest, so other teams can come and use it, other blind organizations can come and utilize the space and do all sorts of recreation programs that they want to use it for.
Organizers plan to continue holding other sporting and recreation activities at the sports field, including beep kickball and blind archery. Well, few things are as recognizable around the 4th of July than the bright displays of fireworks in the sky. A report from Wallet Hub estimates that consumers spent roughly $2.7 billion on fireworks last year. KOAM Samantha Walker has more on how fireworks sellers prepare for the booming business.
I've always grown up going to fireworks shows, or we set them off in our front yard. So it's a good way to get families together.
For people across the country, fireworks are a staple part of Independence Day celebrations. And data from Wallet Hub suggests that in the 4-state area, shoppers are willing to spend for a show. Missourians spend the most out of all Americans on fireworks, with the average sale being more than $20 per person.
No matter where you go in the fireworks, people are excited to come see you. So they go to the grocery store because they have to, right? They have to get groceries. They don't want to spend their money on groceries, but we have to eat. But when they come here, they are excited. This is something they want to do, they love to do.
For sellers like Central City Fireworks, the 2-week span surrounding the 4th of July is always busy, with customers hoping to find the biggest boom for their buck. Sellers say this year is looking promising for sales.
A lot of important factors come into play. We always want it not to rain on the 3rd and 4th. That's always beneficial in the fireworks business. Not having drought conditions. Luckily, we've had a good season this year. We've had a few rains. Everything worked out good there. So I think we're expecting a good turnout.
Presley says sellers like her prepare for months for the holiday, making sure they have all the favorites, from sparklers to mortar shells. She hopes people choose to shop locally as a result of their hard work.
It puts money back into the local economy, back into local people, local business owners. So you're supporting your own community when you shop local.
And nobody realizes that sometimes the local shops like Central City, they have better prices on things, and you can get more for a cheaper price than you can if you go somewhere else.
And for fireworks sellers, they say it's special to see families take part in the tradition of lighting up the sky.
They love fireworks, they love celebrating our freedom, they love America, and everyone that comes here is just happy to be here, and we love it.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
You can learn more about city ordinances on fireworks as well as find community displays on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, coming up, the Supreme Court makes a landmark decision today on whether presidents are granted a degree of immunity from criminal prosecution. And later, we're making chilled beefed up summer salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The U.S. Supreme Court ended its term today with a landmark decision on presidential immunity. The decision has a direct impact on former President Donald Trump's current legal troubles. Nydia Cavazos reports from outside the Supreme Court.
In a 6-3 opinion, the Supreme Court ruled Monday that former presidents have absolute immunity from prosecution for official acts related to their core constitutional powers. But the court said there is no immunity for unofficial acts and gave some guidance on how lower courts can draw that line.
For those things that are just within the president's ambit, absolute immunity. For official acts in general, at least presumptive immunity. For unofficial acts, no immunity.
Former President Donald Trump has repeatedly argued that he had absolute immunity.
You have to give a president full and total immunity.
In a scathing dissent, Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote about the potential dangers of this decision on U.S. democracy. The ruling affects Special Counsel Jack Smith's prosecution of Trump for election interference for his role in the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol. The case now goes back to the lower court, which will have to look at what acts are official and what are unofficial.
There is an enormous amount of legal work that is now going to have to unfold over the next several months.
By waiting until July to issue their ruling, the justices have severely reduced the likelihood of Trump standing trial before the November election. Nidia Cavazos, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
Today's ruling follows another Supreme Court decision regarding January 6th. On Friday, the High Court said that the Justice Department overstepped its bounds when it charged hundreds of accused rioters with obstruction. Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
It's July, and that means we're looking for new ideas for dinner that'll keep us cool and satisfied. Just wait.
And we're talking about the heat returning today and tomorrow, right after the break. Well, we're quickly warming back up today and tomorrow. We'll go ahead and take a look outside. 7th and range line looking pretty clear. A few clouds, but they're just fair weather clouds. So overall today is going to be pretty nice. However, we do have temperatures warming right back up to heat advisory conditions. We've got an excessive heat warning, and that's for Nowata and Washington counties out in Oklahoma. That's until 9 p.m. tonight due to heat indices getting up to 115 degrees today. That's temperature and humidity combining into the heat index. Now we've got a heat advisory that's all the way through tomorrow at 8 p.m. and that's for a few of our counties out in Kansas and Oklahoma as well, due to heat indices from 103 to 108 today and tomorrow as well. So it's going to be pretty hot, pretty muggy over the next couple of days as well. We had the chance for some rains, but those storms did shift a little bit further north through Kansas City, so we stayed mostly dry. Again, a few clouds in the area, but overall not too bad. The last couple of days we've had cooler temperatures due to the storms that rolled through on Saturday, so our high yesterday only got up to low to mid 80s. Today, unfortunately, we're right back up to low to mid 90s, and we've got our high 90, about 95 out in Joplin, 92 in Pittsburgh, 97 in Veneta and Grove, so warmer out in the southern and western counties, cooler in the northern and eastern counties today. The same thing happens tomorrow. However, we're getting a little bit warmer tomorrow. 101 in Independence, 99 in Sedan, 99 in Nowata, Veneta, Grove as well, 98 in Joplin, 95 in Pittsburgh. So it's going to be pretty hot again tomorrow. However, humidity values today are going to be a lot more than they are tomorrow. So it's going to be more muggy today, a little bit drier tomorrow, but temperatures are a lot warmer. So it's going to feel about the same. Now we do have the chance for a pop-up storm tonight. That's near Lamar, Jasper as well, just north of Joplin. And that's going to be around 6:37 p.m. tonight. Not long-lived. It's just one of those summer storms. The next chance of rain we have is going to be Tuesday at night after about 6 p.m. We've got another boundary moving through, and it's going to be pushing in some storms on Tuesday, but we get rain chances continuing Tuesday all the way through Thursday. Well, as it moves in, it becomes more scattered in nature, not as defined. So this is overnight Wednesday into early Wednesday morning. Those will continue through the day, or through the morning, excuse me. And then we've got those scattered thunderstorm chances on Wednesday and a lot wider chances on Thursday, unfortunately, just in time for the 4th of July. It's going to be pretty stormy all the way through the afternoon, but after that, temperatures cool off Friday. It's going to be mostly cloudy, but temperatures back down to about 88 for a high. And then we warm right back up into the 90s Saturday, Sunday, Monday 93. And we've got some chances of those scattered thunderstorms and isolated storms, especially today. We've got that isolated storm popping up in just north of Joplin.
Lots going on.
Yes, unfortunately, heat is not so fun.
No,
we definitely need the rain though, so I'm not complaining about that.
Absolutely not. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, stick around. We're making a chilled, beefed up summer salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Howard is showing us how to make chilled, beefed up summer salad in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
When it comes to cooking during the summer, we usually stay away from the slow cook comfort foods and lean towards the lighter fare. And if this July is going to be anything like last year's, which happens to be the hottest month ever on record, then the beefed up summer salad we're making today is just what we're looking for. We start by cutting a head of iceberg lettuce and placing it on a platter. On top of that, we arrange some cucumbers and tomatoes that we've chunked up. Now, for the part that turns this from just a salad into a main dish, we pile on some cooked roast beef. And that can be chunked up from a leftover roast or from the deli. And since a salad is only as good as the dressing that goes on it, we threw together a creamy horseradish dressing that really complements the beef. Then we threw on some onions, and it's done. It may seem simple, but the simplest things in life are often the best. And when you serve this chilled, laced with a tangy dressing, don't be surprised if this becomes a year-round favorite. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our chilled beefed up summer salad, 'cause it's that good. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a cool and refreshing way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
We can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Well, we've got a pop-up evening storm tonight around 6:30, 7 p.m. Not going to be long-lived. Then temperatures continue to warm up through Tuesday, 99 degrees tomorrow. It'll be a little bit drier than today, but still going to get pretty hot. Then storm chances return Tuesday night all the way through Thursday night. So unfortunately, 4th of July is going to be pretty rainy this year.
Not super fun. It's quite the start to July. I do have to say there's a lot going on there.
There has been, and it's been a chaotic weekend for sure.
I bet it has. And Dow, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, pharmacists are sounding the alarm as more than 300 medicines, including treatments for the side effects of chemotherapy, are in short supply. We're going to learn what's new legislation being presented to Congress to combat this issue and how these drug shortages can make or break a patient's recovery. Plus, the Joplin Humane Society sets up shop with a silent fireworks stand to help pets this Independence Day. And a barbecue joint in Fort Scott, Kansas is being recognized as one of America's best restaurants. Join us for those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up today, KOAM News at 5.
Lots to look forward to. Thank you, Dow. And I might have to make my way up to Fort Scott to try out that barbecue place.
Absolutely.
You know, as long as the weather's good, Lindsay can make sure that it's going to be.
For the next couple of days, it will be.
All right, sounds good. Well, that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll, of course, see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.